of the blue, I must say. I was surprised. At the same time, I thought it was an act of courage for a man who felt that his strength was failing, and he'll be 86 years of age in April. He said, while it is a spiritual job, it also has tremendous physical demands. You can imagine ceremonies that last 4 hours, meeting heads of state, meeting heads of department, making decisions that affect the lives of so many people, and then meeting group after group, day after day. So I was with the Pope during October in Rome because the Synod of Bishops was on, and each day that we had open sessions, he came in, he sat there presiding. He's totally alert, a very wonderful, gentle, quiet man, but at the same time he had to be physically helped even to take the 2 steps up to the rostrum. So it's obvious that his health was failing. He was considering this for a long time. He's prayed about it, and now he felt for the good of the Church, this is the best thing he can do.
From your point of view, Archbishop, was there a sense of disappointment from your side? Because, I mean, as we say, there has not been a resignation since 1415. Did you feel disappointment at all?
No, I did not feel disappointment. The emotion that first came to my mind was a sense of gratitude for what Pope Benedict has done for the Church. As I say, he's almost 86 years of age. All that life has been dedicated to the work of the Church. He has worked with great sincerity, great transparency, and also wonderful intelligence. You know, it's a disappointment, yes, in the sense that we're losing a man who has a tremendous contact with the Scriptures, which is fundamental for Catholics, and also with the tradition of the Church and teaching of the Church. As you know, he was a professor in various German universities, and then he was in charge of the Department for Doctrine in the Church under Pope John Paul, with whom he worked very, very close and supported tremendously in a rather unpopular job at the time.
Yeah. Let's now talk about the way forward, because we know that as of the 28th of this month of February, he will no longer be in the position, and he has no dealings in the running of the Catholic Church from there onwards, and he has no dealings as to who will be the next Pope. How is the next Pope now chosen?
Well, on the 28th of February, as you indicate, the Pope will resign formally and finally from his position. Immediately after that, the Dean of the chairperson, if you want to, of the College of Cardinals, there are about 118 or 120 cardinals from around the world who will now be summoned to go to Rome, and over the following 2 or 3 weeks they will meet there, they will confer together, they will pray together, they will consider the state of the Church, they will consider what sort of leadership the Church needs at this particular moment, and then they will go into conclave, which I mean is a secret meeting where they are locked in. There's no communication with the outworld. There's no means of communicating with the outworld to guarantee that they're free, that they'll make a decision that comes from within their own hearts. And as they make their vote, they have to stand before God and say, this is what I honestly think, this is the person I feel who is best for the leadership of the Church at this moment.
Yeah.
And then you have the whole business of the black smoke and the white smoke. You know, the outside world gets an indication after each votation. See, to be elected Pope, you have to get, well, I suppose this time 80 or 81 votes out of 120. And each time they fail to reach 81, then black smoke is sent up, indicating that they have had an election or a votation, but not selected a Pope yet. And when they do select the Pope, then they send up white smoke, and then the crowds begin to gather and the cameras begin to gather, and just a few moments later a cardinal comes out and announces a news of great joy. A certain cardinal has been elected Pope, and the name that he has taken is the new name then. The choice of name is made by the person who has been elected. So I don't know what name the new Pope will have.
Yeah. Archbishop, in terms of how long this process takes, when are we looking at the announcement of a new Pope? I mean, could it take a month?
Well, it could, theoretically. I'd imagine it's around the 20th of March, but I actually do not know. I don't know the answer to the question.
Okay.
But going by the normal procedures, it'll take 2 or 3 days maybe to come to a decision. and then it'll be announced. It all depends on the day on which they go into conclave. So 2 or 3 days after that, I would expect an announcement and the presentation of the new Pope.
Archbishop, thank you so much for joining us. There's just no time to continue, unfortunately, chatting. I would personally, I'd love to find out who you think is the choice. Am I allowed to squeeze that in quickly? Who do you think could be the next Pope? Do you think it could come from Africa?
It would be wonderful if it came from Africa, because there are 170 million Catholics in Africa, and I think we in Africa bring a warmth, we bring a spirituality, we bring a participation in the life of the faith, we bring a faith that would indeed warm and enrich the whole church, especially the Western world, where people are often tired in their faith.
Okay, Archbishop, thank you very much for talking to us. From our Pretoria studios, that was Archbishop Williams of the Catholic Church in South Africa.